My name is Nick Bennett, and I collect anything to do with James Bond, which this year is the 60th anniversary of the launch of Dr. No. In 2015 my collection was counted, and Guinness World Records put it in their book that year as the largest James Bond collection. This room gives a small sample of the type of thing that I collect, and this is probably around, well, it's less than 10% of the collection, but what's nice about it is that I've tried to arrange all these things as interesting vehicles or pieces of James Bond memorabilia with good colours, and they look interesting. All the rest of the collection is all boxed up in various rooms and storage units, so it's impossible to sort of get a full picture of the whole collection, but hopefully this will give an idea of the sort of thing that I do collect. So that was in 2015 when I got the world record. Of course, it's grown since then, and we've had a couple of films come out since then with their own memorabilia, so to this day I'm still buying. Yeah, it's hard to imagine now, but James Bond was such an influential film franchise, especially in the 60s. So the first film that came out, the one that we're celebrating this year, the 60 years of, is Dr. No. And that was a very good, solid spy adventure. Bit of glamour, filmed in the Bahamas, but and the second one had a Russian element, so it fitted in with the Cold War. But there was nothing amazing about it, and then Goldfinger came out, and Goldfinger had things that people had never seen before. The bad guy, actually Goldfinger, and his henchman Oddjob, tried to cut James Bond in half using a laser beam. Nobody had ever seen anything like that. He tried to make his escape in an Aston Martin that had machine guns built into it, and shot a baddie through the roof. That in 1964-65 was just absolutely amazing to see on the screen, and nobody could imagine that these things could exist, and yet here we have a spy on the screen using them, and that caught the people's imagination. So on the back of that we had a huge industry, especially toys, because the parents wanted to buy the kids things to do with the film they'd just seen. So there's probably 30 or 40 different types of Aston Martin here, all available in 1965, with an ejector roof and machine guns that come out the front and a bullet shield that comes out the back, available for children. There are dolls of Oddjob there, Goldfinger's henchman, James Bond dolls. There are various weapons that kids could run around with to replicate being a spy. There are board games, there are model kits, there's candy, there's trading cards, badges, anything you could think of. Watches were made in 1965 for James Bond, and the world wanted everything to do with James Bond. The next film continued, Thunderball, very, very successful. The one after that, You Only Live Twice. The 1960s was the golden era for James Bond, and again, even though we're celebrating Dr. No, I think we should be celebrating the 1960s and James Bond as well.